I'm Erica, and today we are budgeting. I love budgeting because that means I could buy things without feeling guilty, and I love buying things. I know budgeting isn't that fun to most people, but budgeting is basically the prerequisite to financial freedom. So if your goal is to build wealth so you can do the things that you actually enjoy, then keep watching. Also, you can download these handouts that I made for free. I'll be sure to link it below. Okay, let's dive right into it. For this to work, be sure to do your budget before the month starts. There are 4 steps when it comes to budgeting. I just made these up, but it's earn, categorize, strategize, and spend. Step 1, earn. First, you're going to total up your income after tax. The reason it's after tax is because this is the money that you're going to be working with for the month. Add up the total amount of income you'll be receiving for the month. Do your best to think of every little piece of income that will be coming in. Think of your daily job, your side hustles, any pensions, dividends, accrued interest from high-yield savings accounts, and so on. For this example, let's just total it up and put $4,811. Also, these are just example numbers. It's always best to underestimate what you're going to be earning for the month. Once your paychecks start coming in, put the actual amount into the actual column. Also, if you're not a paper person, then I'll be sure to link my Google Sheet and Excel version below. In the spreadsheet version of my budget, of course, I have some cool features and some bar graphs and line graphs and pie graphs and all of that, as well as just some auto calculations everywhere. Excel is basically my second husband. I love him. Step 2, categorize. This is where you're gonna write out the major categories you have for the month. I have my typical expense categories that I personally use. Now this section here is just the summary section. Be sure to match your categories to the other pages with the charts. Okay, let's dive a little deeper. In each major category, I have subcategories. Let's start with housing and utilities. For me, under housing, I'll usually put rent, internet, electricity, and water and gas. For transportation, I have our gas bills. We don't have a car payment as our cars are already paid for, but if I do have to get a car wash or buy some oil, we will put that here as well. We actually don't pay for car insurance each month. What we do instead is something called a sinking fund, which I'll cover later in the video. Then I'll fill out the other areas. With these handouts, I have a page with 2 categories or 4 categories, so you can print out as many as you would like. Now, if you don't know what kind of categories you have, I recommend printing out the last 3 months of your bank statements and then taking a look at what you spent from there. Also, don't forget to add some of your favorite things in the appropriate categories. Like for us, we have a budget for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I have my eyelash budget, we have Orange Theory budget, I have like all my hair product stuff and my Korean skincare. When we paid off all of our loans, I had a $1,000 shopping spree that we budgeted for, and I spent it all on Lululemon in Canada. That was awesome. So if you're saving up for something important like a vacation or your retirement or you're paying off debt, make sure you put those in the categories or in the subcategories. Now that you have your planned income, your categories, and your subcategories, it is now time to step 3, strategize. We are going to assign every dollar a purpose. When it comes to budgeting, you want to assign every dollar a purpose, whether that's to give, save, or spend. You should have 0 money left over by the end of the month because it's been given, it's been spent, or it's been, I was gonna say saving, or it's been saved. So next to each item, let's write down how much we're planning to spend on the item. I have a few items here that are on auto pay, so for some items in housing, I can give the actual amount. Here at the rent and internet part, I'll put $1,000 and then $40. And then I'm gonna put the date for when it's gonna be taken out. Then I'll estimate the utilities, as that tends to change a little month to month, but I have a pretty good idea of how much it's gonna be. I'm gonna add it up and I'm gonna total it at the bottom. For other items that are not subscription or autopay, I will just put a number that I plan on spending for that month. Here's an example. Okay, let's go to groceries. Since I haven't gone shopping yet, I will just put $300 here in the budgeted amount box. I also want to budget for my Korean skincare, so I'm gonna put $50 here in the personal care section. It's always better to overestimate your expenses by a little. So underestimate your income and overestimate your spending. You want to give yourself a little buffer. If you don't know how much you normally spend, then like I said before, just print out your monthly statements from the last 3 months, take a look at what you've been spending on, and then just go from there. Also, remember, these are pure example numbers, so don't get mad at my numbers. Just do what makes sense for your income. Okay, let's continue to fill out the rest of the month. Be sure to total up your planned budget column. Earlier, I talked about car insurance and how we don't have monthly payments for that. Instead, we pay for it once a year because we actually get quite a big discount. Now, the last thing I want in the month is for a big chunk to come out of my monthly expenses. So what I do instead is I make a sinking fund. For big expenses that are yearly, what you do is you take that big balance and then you divide it by 12, so 12 months. So if you have, let's say my car insurance is $1,000 for the year, I'm going to divide that into 12 and it's going to be $83 a month. Every month I'm going to budget for $83 and I'm going to put that money somewhere where I can't spend it. So some people, they do like a cash envelope. For me, I like to put it in a high yield savings account. If you don't know how a high yield savings account works, I'll be covering that in another video. So be sure to click that subscribe button and the notification bell. So in my sinking fund category, I'll put car insurance at $83. And then once I transfer that $83 to my account, I'll put the $83 in the spent column. I'll do this with a lot of other items such as car repairs or clothing sinking funds or savings for a birthday month. Once you finish all of the planned budget amounts, put it in your monthly summary so you have a nice overview. Once you add up the planned budget column, see what your monthly total is. The goal is for the $4,811 in the planned budget column to match the $4,811 in the planned income column. This is a zero-based budget, so your income minus your expenses must equal 0. If your planned budget is bigger than your planned income, then that is no bueno. Can't spend what you don't have if you want to win. Okay, the hardest part is done, and now it is time for step 4, spend. As the month goes by, enter in the amount you spent into all the categories you budgeted for. For housing, I spent the exact amount I budgeted for because they were on autopay. Be sure to subtract the spent month from the planned budget. The goal should be 0, but if you have some money left over, then you can either spend that money within this category or put the remaining into savings, pay off debt, or put it into another category. Now let's say for groceries you planned $300 in the budget. Another way you can use this table is by just putting your expenses down and then subtracting from the budgeted amount at the top. So let's say Trader Joe's was $50 on January 4th. So this means 300 minus 50 is $250. Then if I spent $9 at Farmer's Market, I will subtract $9 from $250, leaving me with $241 remaining. Then as the month goes by, I will try to equal 0. Whatever remaining money I have left, I'll put it towards another category. At the end of the month, total up your spent money and put it in the monthly summary. The goal is to equal 0. If I only spent $275 in groceries when I budgeted for $300, then I have $25 left. But if I overspent $25 in home supplies, the $25 deficit and the $25 excess basically canceled each other out. Once you add everything, you want the spent money to equal $4,811 and the remaining category to equal 0. Also, if you receive some other random money for your income, like change you found in your couch or birthday money, then you can add that to the actual list and assign it a category. Looks like we ended up with $4,920, so if we went over a little in the spent money category, this will give us some buffer we need, or if we did a really good job with our budget, then we can assign the extra $109 to paying off debt or saving up for that trip to Japan. If this seems really hard, it does get a lot easier. Normally it takes 3 months in order to get better and faster. Once you get the budget down, you're going to see that you could pay off your debt faster, you can save for something faster, and then buy the thing that you want quicker. Budgeting really is the prerequisite to financial freedom. If you are thinking that paper budgeting still isn't for you, then take a look at this video right here.